Welcome to the warm-up show with the hockey coach, Guru Coach Franchise, directly from the beautiful country of Thailand. And we have to find our co-host directly from Toronto, down, Mr. ENORTAP, back in the house on the beautiful Friday night on the January 20, 2023. This is the last one of the week of the warm-up show. And we're going to have an amazing, great night of the show because we have only two games. Good news for everybody. No jail for Monday.
No jail.
So that's the good news about that, Mr. ENORTAP.
Absolutely. Good evening, Coach. Good evening, Hockey Nation. Here we are on a Friday. As Coach said, just two games tonight. Not easy, even.
Yeah, absolutely about that. First of all, you can see I have no mic in front of me, so it's going to be a little bit different. Like, you know, when you do a routine every day, everything should be work very well. For some reason, I lost the mic this morning. I don't like the mic. The mic is right here. I lost the connection. So I maybe have to call Jekai for the Wi-Fi with something's going on with my mic. But we're going to figure out this after the show, and that's not a big deal at the end of the day. Technology, sometimes, Mr. ENORTAP, you never know how this works sometimes.
Absolutely. We have to deal around it, that's all.
Exactly. First of all, we have a few people knock the door, but before that, what an amazing, great night last night. 13 game was played from the top to the bottom. A lot of action, left and right. Couple of things we're going to talk about around. So we have a time talking about hockey between everybody in the chat tonight. First of all, we want to welcome everybody. We have Mr. Jose Duarte. He's in the house from upstate New York, another moderator of the Hockey Nation.
How's it going, Jose?
And he's going to be on the bus, Mr. ENORTAP. What a great performance on a difficult night of prediction with a record of 10-3.
Oh, boy, that was an amazing output yesterday.
You're absolutely right about that. It's funny, I can hear you now, because usually I use my keyboard, the sound effect. No, I like, sound effect, so you can talk over the voice, everything like that. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good about that one over there. Randy Walkman from Alberta knocked the door tonight. Welcome back, Mr. Randy. Hopefully an amazing, great week.
Welcome, Randy.
Glad to having you aboard. And then we have Mr. Luciano Graziano, another moderator of the Hockey Nation Show, back in the house with us and talking, maybe give us some prediction of the night, Mr. ENORTAP.
Way to go. Welcome, Lucky. Yeah, we did horribly last night.
Yeah, it was not very good for everybody.
No, you did okay. You beat me on those two games. We were different. That was the key thing.
You make my choice and my St. Louis Blues. I'm still upset about that one of them. My St. Louis Blues was dead. And then I should go with Seattle Kraken. It was two things I should go with my first.
Seattle should have lost that game. Never mind.
So, but it is what it is. The Devils come back. We're going to talk about this. Mr. Yamo Vertanen is in the house. Mr. ENORTAP, welcome back, Yamo.
Welcome, Yarmo.
Yeah, maybe I can do that. There's some noise I can use in the chat on that one. André Robert Drouin, Mr. ENORTAP, knocked the door. André always give us some great comments about each day, about my videos, the app, Daily News. André is really a big supporter of those videos. So glad to having him aboard tonight. And our friend Alan Barnes, Mr. ENORTAP, is in the house, but directly from Facebook. Alan Barnes is with us tonight. Thanks so much, Alan, to be with us. Back to back, Mr. ENORTAP. William McClary is with the Hockey Nation Show tonight. Thanks so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Then we have Gary Cournoyeur. Not a bad night for him last night, so Gary pretty good on the prediction about this. And then then we have a Senator Fan 879 back in the house, Mr. ENORTAP, after he took 1 week off. Basically, I don't know, maybe. Who knows? Do you think the Senator go all in on the trade deadline, Mr. ENORTAP?
Oh, I don't think so. I think the writing's kind of on the wall for them. They might make one acquisition, but it's more for the future, not so much for this year.
Absolutely right about that. I don't see a big chance for that team. Double J, Toronto, downtown neighbor, Mr. ENORTAP. Double J.
Welcome, Double J.
Welcome back. And then Rick Bengal from Halifax is in the house. I was beat up in the jail last night. Two black eyes. You have a lot of action at the jail last night. 6 people is rare. So we bring two other guard for. So Roger was on the shift last night. Last night Roger picked up a couple of shifts. One, you have too many people. He wanted to be sure everything is clear inside of those two because we have two annex now. We have a Danny annex and a King annex missing on top. But that's a joke we can talk a little bit later for sure. Yamo Vartanen from Finland, where we said welcome back. Thanks for being with us. Well, Mr. Rand Kirk did pretty good yesterday.
Hey, Ryan.
Welcome back. Did pretty good overall. Just don't make me laugh. All my teachers well. Speed recovery, Andre. Hopefully doing better, and I can't wait to see that. Hopefully it will be all right. I was really busy. We'll be here often. I can, no problem. Senator, we're just teasing you about this. You can come when you can, like everybody else. And we appreciate everybody to be with the Hockey Nation.
Always welcome.
Believe it or not, I took Vancouver tonight.
Okay, you're lucky there's no jail, Lucky.
I believe it or not, I took Vancouver. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Bruce Bowen next couple of minutes. Just don't make me laugh. You can see on the go. On the down, guys, okay, Toronto. The Toronto Maple Leafs will be in Montreal.
We can't guarantee, Andre. We can't guarantee that. That's part of our Friday.
The for the Montreal to win the next 2 games, Senator?
What are the chances?
For the Montreal Canadiens beat the next 2 games, to win the next 2 games.
Well, they have, I think, Toronto and
Boston,
right? I think we beat Toronto and lose to Boston.
All right. We'll be interesting about that. You're lucky we don't have a drill Saturday. That's a subject on the time.
Come on, we have Toronto's number. Let's think of it that way.
Yamo said only 2 overtime gate, but both was wrong. Yeah, the Seattle Kraken, I was wrong about one. I get the Devils, so Mr. Top make me change my pick, but it's a subject on the time. No, it's like this. Anyhow, what pay attention, Mr. Top? 13 game. This is the list of the winner. It was really the night of thinking who think better. And that's happening last night. You have a team, they did very well on the tanking to get Connor Bedard last night.
Well, Chicago won. So
yeah.
They didn't tank.
No, but they beat Flowers. So Flowers really well. Montreal Canadiens did very good. And then the Columbus Blue Jackets, they really did exactly what they was ordered.
Yeah.
They take the lead and let it go sleep about that.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me. Like I'm really not liking what I'm seeing with Columbus because, on paper they have a much better team than what they're performing. And so it's obvious what they're trying to do right now. And you don't like to see that happen, but, it is what it is, unfortunately. Anaheim's a team that really hasn't been able to score much this year, or at least lately. And all of a sudden, they come back with 5 unanswered goals after Columbus takes a 3-0 lead. And, it was an ugly situation. The other teams that Arizona, of course, convincingly got beaten down yesterday. Usually I'm very proud of them because every single game they come out and they play hard, even if they don't have the talent. But this game here against Washington dominated from the start of the first whistle right to the end, to the point that their coach at the end of the game really was upset with the effort that Arizona put in Tucson. Who else? The LA game kind of surprised me. I knew Dallas would probably bounce back, but I figured, playing in LA and LA knowing that they needed 2 points as well, it was a bit surprising that they didn't put a better foot forward in that game. Again, Dallas took, I think, an early 3-0 lead, and then they or 2-0, and then they coasted in the second and third. And really, they had no answer, LA. Now, the game, I mean, we could talk about some other ones, of course, but the game that really has me a little bit ticked off, and I'll be honest, Coach, was the Montreal game, because I thought Montreal really played a good game, or a good game in the first period. I thought that they played with Florida. They were doing a lot of good things. Second period, I just don't know what happened to the referees. And they totally disappeared and started calling all sorts of penalties that sometimes did not make sense. They called back that, well, they didn't call it back. They allowed that goal um, that was scored, with the goaltender interference with Montembeault. That I personally thought it was interference. If you look at some other cases that were called back this year, and you compare them, not only were his skates in the blue zone, they made contact with the goalie. He didn't have a chance to bring his arm around as well. I thought that was textbook interference, but unfortunately, they saw it otherwise. And then it became because they weren't calling things the way they should have, it became a very chippy affair in that second period, and it turned ugly. And I hate to see some of the shenanigans that were going around towards the end, like some serious. I thought Gudis took some serious charges at guys like Harris and somebody else. He tried to knee at the Doc. I think it was. He tried to get him with the knee. I thought that was totally uncalled for. I think Matheson also, when he turned around and gave that elbow to Stahl, was not really called for. And if, as a referee, if you don't call those things when they happen, right? It's no surprise it escalated to what it did afterwards. And the last thing I'll say is I'm a little bit shocked at I thought guys like Pizzetta, Jackeye, even Matheson, they stood up to the challenges that were presented to them. But there was an opportunity that Josh Anderson could have done the same thing, and he didn't do it. And it just reminded me of last year when Montembeault was run at and Petrie did absolutely zero. And I'm just wondering at this point, has Anderson checked out of the city? Because just a few days ago, he made a comment in a press conference that the league had become very soft, and that that there isn't the physicality that there once was. And for him being a power forward on this team, supposedly, and not to respond, this was the kind of game where he should have stepped up and protected some of his players that were taken advantage of in many aspects. So I thought I was a bit disappointed in his reaction. I'll be honest with you.
All right. We have Mr. Adam Barnes now back on the YouTube. Mr. Jeffrey Corey, welcome back. C'est for two Montreal again Toronto Maple Leaf. Lucien talked about the Dallas Star yesterday. The Dallas Star, they did exactly what the Winnipeg did. The Winnipeg Jet did not do. So the Dallas Star guys lost a game against San Jose Sharks. One, it was lead, and then San Jose Sharks come back with a 3-goal, and they come back the Dallas Star, and they said, "Wait a minute, it's not the way we play. We have to get better." And they really rebound very well. The Dallas Star yesterday against the Los Angeles Kings. And then one player we don't talk a lot is Tyler Seguin. Tyler Seguin went out to the spot of the rope hands, and he does like he have about 9 points the last 4 games between Pavelski, Robinson. So Seguin make a big fun there. Is of course a shootout for the goaltender Wedgwood. I'll be a little bit more around the game yesterday, and I'm Doc Columbus Blue Jacket for the score 5-3 yesterday. Comeback of 5 goals straight for the AM Ducks happening yesterday. Very surprised me. Columbus play at home. They're better at home. And yeah, something inside that team is not resonating well with me. I don't know what's going on in Columbus, but they should not be at the bottom of the standing in NHL at 32. Something is not there, and I don't know what I need to get that one over there.
They're tanking, and they're making it obvious. That's what's wrong, Coach.
But with
like you
all
can
the
tell that
talent they
team
have
is
there, yeah, something though. Yeah, other things. You cannot tank with Boudreau. With Goudreau. You cannot tank with Laney. You cannot tank with Joner. It just don't make sense to me. With talent wise, they have inside that team. To be like the bottom six, I understand, but to be at the bottom of NHL, the way they play, that's the biggest problem for me for Columbus Blue Jacket. Boston Bruins consider a big game, a big W at the Madison Square Garden. What a great performance again to the big line over there for the Boston Bruins, and then the goaltender make another great. They consider to have one of the best duo in NHL,
oh
Swimmer
now
and Ulmark.
now it's Swayman.
Yeah, swimming now
Swayman
after a
he's
difficult
picked
year.
up.
Beginning of the year,
Yeah,
he looked better. The last 7 games for them, that's pretty good.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Chicago
absolutely.
surprised the Flyers 4-1 yesterday. Wow, I was not expect Chicago win at home. Chicago Flyers was 8-2-0 the last 10 game, and they did very well about that one there. Chicago, and then Carolina won at home. It was a little bit Minnesota did not do well. Something's going on with Matt Tomba. We're going to talk about that situation there. Carolina Paturity
Yeah,
out for the rest of the year, possibly.
yeah. That was very suspect. Like it was towards the end of the game, coach, and
Yep,
you hate to see that happen to anybody. It looks like it could be his Achilles heel
yep,
because nobody was around, and I think they've announced that he's out long term now, so he's
yep.
probably gone for the year.
Yep. It reminds us, if you remember, like Kevin Durant at the basketball final a
Yeah,
couple years ago, it's
yeah.
his knee, same situation with Patrioti.
Kevin Durant. Yeah,
Really bad news about for this. Patrioti worked so hard to come back for the play a couple of games and then rest out. So Buffalo finally get. Buffalo was amazing. If you watch the overtime, guys, go check the the pass of Ramis Dallin to Cousin to get that W. They come back to tie the game 2-2, and then they get the W yesterday. But the biggest thing of the night, it was really the pass of Ramis Dallin about this. I can football call this the bomb, a 60 yards pass. And this one was like an amazing, great pass for Dallin, and then Cousin found a way to score and to get that W there. So this Blues surprised a bit the Nashville Predator. Um, the Blues play better without O'Reilly and Tarasenko, so that's something you have to remember that one over there. And but they get a big, huge W. Very sad for Nashville. Try to stay in the race. This is going to maybe hurt them a long term for sure. Edmonton, what a game last night again. The Tampa Bay Lightning performance Hyman again, and they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning for the score 5-3. Stenko scored another goal, but McDavid again showed this team. It's another team when you have Evander Kane inside that team. You see the confidence, you see the
absolutely.
players pick it up more. And it was really a good game. Then probably come back a couple of times back to back, 3 times, and then finally 4 goals, 5 goals for the Tampa Bay Lightning, for the Edmonton Oilers. Seattle Kraken beat the hot team in NHL, the Devils again. They was on the straight, and they finally find to get that W, tie the game. The Devils at the last minute or 2 minutes at the end of the game. But the Devils got the goal of Burakovsky on overtime for the 4-3. And the Washington, like you said they play with heart, but the last 12 game, I think, or the 11 game, they are 1-10-1 for Coyotes, Arizona.
I
So
know. Yeah.
it's
No,
not.
I know, but I mean, you know the ending to this story when it comes to Arizona, coach. It's not a matter of they didn't get a W here. It's more a matter, especially with the way this team is coached. I think they have a very underrated coach there, and he wants to see the effort game in and game out. And yesterday they checked out. As soon as
Yeah.
that first goal was scored, they just checked out, and they got reprimanded.
Audrey Calabro is in the house. Welcome back. Following by our friend is on the highway right now on the 407. Dixon Automotive Group back in the house. Welcome back. Thanks for being with us. I try
Welcome,
to
guys.
get other people in the house. Pierre Martin is back in the house. Welcome back. Thanks to be with us. Andre Drouin, he talk about officially. We're going to talk about this next minute later. Injury will take a toll on the Ab, going to be tough right for the rest of the season. Kuda was a bomb for Pierre Martin. Ab are 210 all the time at home against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Chris Henson said, I later said the same thing under the sun on Cole's video this morning. Anderson need to go. I did not could us take out McDavid a few years ago back near the board. Yep, so right there. All Tampa Bay was a good game for Iamo. Others who owned Tampa Bay on their own highs. Flame owned no one anywhere. Goodrow are win the team. Luciano. Chicago knocked the door. Welcome aboard. Thanks to be with us. Who regret to not pick the Hawks? Here we go. Here you go, buddy. Pierre Martin, the referee was 20 feet away, looking right at the hit at the back of the cover. No call make me sick.
Absolutely.
About one, Canada have a huge amount of injuries about them. And I said they're give up. And Yamo Pisconis will be this. Denis Rodrigue, you have McDavid, you have the other one on that team over there. And that's conclude everybody in the chat. Everybody get back over there. And I know you talk about this, the 3-star of the night last night. Tell us again to go 1 assist, followed by Ren Donado. To go 1 assist. And the 3-star we gave to the goaltender with a shootout. Which was really bad the last game, so good congratulations for him. A little bit back there, I know you talk about this, a little bit the preview of that on there, but I want to get a little bit more about the resume of the goal and the game between the Montreal and the Florida Panthers, and I want to go a little bit more deeper with something like that. The big conversation everywhere, it was the goal, yes or no. You said no for you. I would like to hear for what the people in the chat, what you think about this. If you think is a good goal video, it's really a great scale. I look about internet, I look about different people, and what the people said, written on that. If you're a goaltender, you have one chance PB Montembeault can stop the puck. But at the end of the day, I did not see Tkachuk make a big interference, the goaltender, that one. He did not push the goaltender. He did not push the goalie. He did not try to let him not come back in the crease. Montembeault was completely out of the crease. And the chance to come back, it was very hard for him to make a save about that. But it come back exactly what I said at the beginning of the season. I said, if you skate out in the blueprint, no go. Whatever happening, you should not have your blueprint in the crease. A bit like the role in the Olympics, example, or the World Junior Championship. And if you have that one, you have no crease scale where, or maybe not. No, he's right there. He touched the crease. That's it.
Both skates. Both skates.
So
both skates, coach.
So it's back again at the blue line of sight, right? The rules like if you skate, touch the blue line, or is above the blue line, and you have the puck go in, it's wave, it's good. But it should be the same thing with the goal with the goalie. If you skate out in the blueprint, right, and the puck is not in front of the goalie and the blueprint, that's it, no goal. But unfortunately, they don't let that way. So
no, you're right. You're right, absolutely. And even though I agree that the contact wasn't
initially by
essence. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just gonna say I don't think that it was too serious of an interference, but we're not measuring the degree of interference. We're just measuring, was it interference? Did it prevent him from either moving in one direction, coming back into the crease, swinging his leg in one direction? And you can see clearly from the replay that it did. So I was shocked by that, but maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know.
At the end of the day, I think the only way I can see they gave the goal is because for them they said he had no chance to stop the puck anyway, whatever it will, if he was there or not there, because he was completely out of the left side. But Martin Biron said on the interview in French, said, if ever you have 1% chance to stop it, only 1%, you should not give the goal. He's absolutely right. Whatever you have
Yeah,
1%,
you're
because
right.
you never know what could happen. And so it was really a controversy about that one over there. But from that moment, Martin Saint Louis called the timeout, review call. You can bring back to the goal at the power play goal, 1-0. The frustration starting from the bench, and then they gave another goal back to back. Now it's 2-0. And after that, it was the end for Montreal Canadiens. They gave a
Yeah.
4 goal on 6 power play in the second period, and they gave 5 goals during the second period. And the rest of it was over for that moment. During that time, we have 2 minute, too many men on the ice. So that gave you another problem over there. And then you get those kind of penalty you got at the end of the day. So frustration happening about this one over there after the goal and after the second power play. And then the PK did not do well. The PK did very bad. 4 goal and 8. That's not good. Remember, guys, Montreal Canadiens is the team with the most minute the penalty guys at the beginning of the season. So Montreal really not very good. And they are not disciplined. And discipline, it's happening yesterday. A 10 minute Kujakai, a 10 minute for David Savard, and that's not helping the defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. And then I think that Martin Saint Louis should call the timeout after the second goal. That's the kind of the learning process. It's easy for me to say this the next day, right? But if you look about this, you have to feel the emotion. You have to feel the body language. You have to feel your players constantly what happening. And I think at that moment, when you see the call was not, it was not good, whatever was good or not, and then you give another goal back to back, and then after that, you should shut down everything and calm down everybody and reset everybody to come back on the for the in the game. And I think that's to control your emotion or the frustration, whatever you want to apply. So I think for that, it was part the problem of Montreal Canadiens. And resume about this 3 fight. A little bit concerned about Albert Jacquet. And I put this on my video, by the way. If you watch my video today, you talk
Yeah.
about Ab Monahan should stay Montreal Canadiens. That's a new, I think I have an option for the Montreal to keep Sean Monahan. But I want to invite you. But I talked about the fact yesterday. It's rare you see a fighter in NHL, whatever the caliber like a Jacquet, keep his glove on his left hands when he fight. It's rare. So for me, I assume he has some problem with his left hands. That's the only thing I can assume. He did not want to fight a couple of times. Some players go around him at the during prior to that, and so I don't know why he keep that glove so long. But is it yes or no? I'm not sure. But I don't understand why he did not remove that left hand's glove.
Yeah, it's possible because now it's become a thing where he almost has to fight on a nightly basis. I mean, he's being called out by many different people, and it shouldn't be like that. I understand his role, and it's not just about fighting. It's also about becoming a better defenseman. And yeah, if you're going to fight every night, of course you're going to incur some kind of injury and or at least some soreness, something that obviously affected him.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep. Yeah, something there will happen. Most of the people in the chat said no, Mr. Nortap. We welcome back Dimitra. Bengal is in the house. Welcome back, Dimitra.
Welcome.
JJ asked a question. Do you think, guys, they are a kind of torch saying the Jekai hands from tie to Tommy time? Do you guys think the league need more guys like Jekai?
I'm not sure how that's aimed. To be honest, if it's, I like his intensity. If that's what we're referring to, the fact that he'll stand up for anybody on his team, that shows his loyalty, his dedication to not only the team but also to the sport in general. I think he plays a. I think he was one of the leaders in terms of the number of hits last night as well. And that's what you want to see. It's sorely missed, and the fans love those kind of people because they can value a person that goes to work and gives 100% every single time. And that's what so far Jack Eye has shown. But let's face it, right now he's a rookie and he shouldn't be doing the bulk of the carrying here when it comes to physical play. He should be part of that and not the only one that's doing it out there. So that something's got to change there. Like I
Well,
said
the
before,
people step up yesterday. Pesada step up. Mike Madison step up. I
yeah.
think that'd be great.
Well, they had to, but I'm specifically referring to Anderson here. I'm really ticked off with his lack of reaction in all of this.
But what you want him to
So
fight with who? What do you want him to?
when
You
he
cannot
did, when
promise
he
a player said, "Ask, hey, John, go fight Kudos." You cannot do that. Like,
no, but he was on the ice when Gudas took a run with his knee and his elbow at Kirby Dock. Right, he
it
took a
was
run
Jordan
at him.
Harris.
Or no, Harris was behind the net or towards the net. This was in the middle of the ice, towards center ice, and he took a run at him, and thankfully nothing happened. Could have been a very serious injury, and Anderson was on the ice right there and then, and he did absolutely nothing about it. At the very least, he should have gone into his face and shoved his glove in his face
But
and done
again,
something that
you
you
have
can't
four
do
players
that.
on the ice. What happened with other four players?
Yeah, but Josh Anderson
But
is a
it's,
guy I
again,
can understand.
maybe he's
I can
hurt.
understand last year.
Maybe have a problem with the hands. We don't know. I think for me
Well,
to
then,
relate only him to say, "Hey, by the way, if he cannot fight, it's like I disagree to accuse a players because he did not do it, and to only point one players. He talk about any players step up. What happening there? I agree with you, but with specific one specific player, I think it's not right.
yeah, the reason why I'm pinpointing him is because he's the one that made the comment when he was asked by reporters. This was 2 or 3 days ago, and he made the statement. He said the league is becoming very soft. You're not allowed to really hit anymore without getting penalties. There's no fighting going on. So here's a game now where you can take those words. It's built for you. Like your player has just pretty much been tackled here at center ice, one of your best players. Step up, like live to your words. Otherwise, don't say those
But
words.
the
That's the
question
only
he asked
reason I
them, it
pinpoint.
was about too many penalties now. Every time you talk just sick of the players, you get a penalty. That's what was referring was a soft now because yesterday 12 penalty power play. Before the game, the last game, Fleur Panthers against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have how many power play they have? Like they call everything now. It become a league of power play. That's what's happening right now. I think it's too much penalty they
Yeah,
give right there.
yeah,
It's not should be that way. It should not be that. There are too
ex-
many call about that. For me, the stuff of that one.
yeah,
Um, for that, for me, I understand what you tried to tell me, but if you coach, you to point Anderson in the locker room, say, "Hey, you should do that." He would turn around and say, "Wait a minute, what happened with number 43? Uh, what happened with number 56 beside me? It's only me now." I would not
no,
go
it's
that
not only
direction.
him. It's not only him, but it shouldn't be Jack Eye doing all the heavy lifting here or Pizzetta. All right, those guys did what they had to do. I admire that Matheson stepped up when he was challenged by I think it was Lombard, and
Now it was catch up.
he fought or Kachuk. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's right.
it's catch up. It was a good one of
Yeah,
that one. I
Kachuk.
was impressed by Madison. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
because he picked one of the great fighter in NHL, and he
Yeah,
did not look bad about by the way about that one. He did not look like I thought he's going to get that ready, but no, he stepped up very well.
absolutely. And that's what I admire. You might lose the fight, but it isn't about winning or losing a fight. It's about, being part of a positive culture that you're trying to build, and you're either a part of this team or you're not. And if you're not, trade deadline time is around the corner. Bye-bye.
Yep. Melissa Zabran is in the house. Welcome aboard. Thanks to be with our Canadian Show Live Show. After that, we have Albert hurt his hands or wrist when he crashed hard into the own net, for Pierre Martin said. King of Gamer is in the house. Welcome. How do you guys feel about the way Provorov handles situations over the Pride night? Also, do you think Tortora handled the media correctly?
His reaction, I guess you could say everybody has, the right to feel any way they like towards this, but this was specifically something that could have been totally avoided. I just thought, it's a society of inclusivity nowadays, and for him not to wear it, even though I understand what maybe he was trying to get at, but you're part of a team, go with the flow, wear it, even if it's not your belief. Specifically, and I don't know. I think Tortorella handled the situation well afterwards. To be honest with you, and not much to be said about that, because I know he had made some controversial remarks back when he wasn't a coach on. I think it was on ESPN when he worked with them. That caused some disturbances as well, and feathered and ruffled some feathers as well. So, maybe he shouldn't have came out. He shouldn't have came out at all if that's the way he felt. But coming out and making a statement of his own, I thought maybe that could have been avoided.
All right, that's good. Corey Hill, back in the house, Mr. Corey Hill. Thanks to be with our Kinishula show. Corey Hill, he was good. Came a lot of time, many time ago before he go back. Now he's back with us. Thank you so much to stop by. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Anderson think he may be betrayed, so he does his minimum prayer. Maybe Anderson is sitting on his contract. What do you think about Pino and Jack Anderson so far? They are doing incredible.
Well, actually, Pinto had gone through, I think, 15, 16 games. He hadn't scored until just recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a rookie. You got to expect sometimes they go through these dry spells. But yeah, he'll be fine. I like Pinto. I think he'll do well. Sanderson's been fairly solid all year.
Yep, great comment about that one there. It's just the team does not do well. That's pretty much the problem with that one over there. We have people attack each other. Smith is a joker, but they do get Albert on the ice. I guess he was a good play after all. Going with the encourage the work about this, Andre. And that's happening about this one with them. Mr. ENORTAP, it's time before we talk about the two game to celebrate our friend Jose Duarte with the party bus. He's the only one tonight with an amazing, great record of 10 and 3, Mr. ENORTAP. So welcome, Mr. Jose and the bus. There we go. That's good for him. Congratulations, Mr. Jose, to get a great 10 and 3 about that one there. Don't forget, guys, click on the likes. That's fun news around the league, guys. The NHL jersey, Mr. ENORTAP. What do you think about the NHL jersey?
Burn it.
About Burn that one over there.
Jersey.
They are it's called the retro jersey. Celebrate 30 years ago, the Mario Lemieux, the Jagger. At that time, so they tried to come back with that kind of jersey. So you don't like them?
Well, these ones here, I was referring to the Montreal blue jerseys there. Can't stand those. And they still haven't won with them. But the NHL ones, they're fine. I don't feel it doesn't move the needle for me either way.
Yeah, they announced yesterday the players. We're not going to go through that tonight, but they announced the All-Star team now. That Austin Matthews part of the All-Star game. They went by vote. by the people. You can see the biggest market have pronounced, their best players on that one. So, but we're not going to get that one. We talked about Patrick earlier. Unfortunately for him, he's going to be long term out now from possibility out of the season. So, unfortunately for him, and then healthy scratch for Matt Dumba. And then Anthony Manta and Tyler Bertuzzi for Detroit Red Wings not have a great year. You have free for Bertuzzi next season. Do you believe that Detroit Red Wings are going to sign him or not?
I would say the percentages are probably 30-70 that they'll sign him. I think he's probably gonna go.
Okay. Matt Tumba, Corey said you have some kind of rumor with the Ottawa Senator. Do you believe he's going to resign with Minnesota or he's going to go somewhere? Maybe not a trade deadline, but maybe after the season he become a UFA.
Yeah, I think something's up there for sure. That healthy scratch the other night, and then the conversation that he had also with the general manager, it really raised some flags for me, and it either becomes a teachable moment, and he's on board. Otherwise, he's probably going to be dealt very soon. I don't even think it'll last till the end of the year.
Do you sign him with the Montreal Canadiens? Is a right defenseman?
Well, my personal opinion, I'm not a big fan. I'll be honest with you, so I would not. I mean, he commands. How much is he making right now? I'm not.
7 million.
But it's quite. Yeah. See, like it's a lot of money, and it's not the way to disperse it on a team.
But he's become a UFA now.
Yeah, I know, but still, I don't want him in Montreal. I'll be honest with you.
All right. Last news of the day, guys, is about that. Possibly get trade before the All-Star game is on tap. Then you have Tom team: Boston, Seattle, Minnesota, Carolina, Detroit. On the 6 team right there, on the 5 team, which team do you think he can go?
Well, where he can go and who has the money to accommodate that are two different things. I don't see Detroit. Carolina, now that Pacioretty's out for the rest of the year, could very well be a possibility. I don't see Minnesota. They're in trouble as well, cap space wise. Seattle could definitely use him and has the money. And I'm not sure about Boston if they have the money, but boy, would that help if he went there. I think he'd be a great addition. That would put him over the top, I think.
Yeah. The 2 teams can afford him is Carolina and the Detroit. When I'm talking about this, maybe slightly Minnesota, I'm talking about prospect and return, and that's what they demand a lot. But I think that the 3 teams are maybe looking, and then there will be an agreement to have a contract at long term after with that team over there. So there will be interesting about that. We have Mr. KLS is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP, and talking about the KLS. Let's move on for the second part of the show. We're almost at the end of the show anyway. We have only Mr. ENORTAP. We're going to take that bug tonight. We have we don't have a lot, and we have only one, honestly. And I think that's good enough to go that way. I don't think so. We have to go a little bit deeper. And we know the jail name is ENORTAP. Only one rare. I don't think so. You've been there before, maybe for one time, no. But I'm talking about Peter August, Mr. ENORTAP.
Oh boy!
Surprised us last night with 4 and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a good showing for him, but he saved my butt, so I have to thank him.
Here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
On that way, we're going to wish him an amazing, great weekend. We're going to get that one. Boston would be benefit with all that. Pierre Martin. Almost like give him the Stanley Cup right now. Really interesting. I don't know if you saw Miss Natap. She pop up sometime on Facebook. Her name is Tissa. I welcome her sometime. Talk about she knows hockey. We
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
all right. So
I remember the name.
she's
Yeah.
a flight attendant for the private uh, airlines in USA, and now she works with the Boston Bruins flight attendant to carry on the team all around North America. So every time the team is moving, she's a part of the plane and she take care about the team completely. And I have a chance to talk to her last night, and she told me all the kind of story about Trent players and the Sweeney and how this works, everything like that. So it's pretty cool to have that kind of conversation with her last night. And so I just
Oh,
want to share with
nice,
that. But
nice.
yeah, that's pretty cool what she does on that one. So she kept a contract for this year with the Boston Bruins. She did in the
That's
past.
that's a nice job. Nice job.
Yeah, it's a really nice job to get that one over there. So very lucky she does this with that kind of you know uh, chance and to talk with them on the basic daily after a W and lost that. And she's cheer for the Boston Bruins and born in Boston, moved in Arizona, but always been
Yeah.
a big fan of Boston Bruins. She take advantage of this over me, but that's a subject for the time. Anyhow, we welcome Ellen Keeve, Mr. Natap. Welcome back, Ellen Keeve. Hopefully, your
Welcome, Ellen.
shoulder are doing well. Can you tell us how to do what Ammon did into that but and tell us how to do a comeback? No, Corey. Not happen, obviously, for the Tower Senator. Senator, it's all about you now. Give us your right prediction of the night. I feel you go 2-0 tonight.
Oh, I hope so, but who knows? This is
You
the NHL,
rebound.
right?
You bounce back, Mr. Natap.
Oh well. So for the second time now in 3 days, the Senators and the Penguins will hit the ice for battle here. We were treated really on Wednesday night with a thrilling 5-4 overtime home win for the Senators in a game that was really quite even the entire way. It was an exciting game. And I expect this one to be just as exciting. But I'm going to say right off the bat, I think it'll have a different result than the last one. Pittsburgh will now have, uh, the luxury of being at home, having their faithful cheering fans there. That should be a big difference. Last I heard was that Jari was a game time decision. Uh, um,
Look like
so
it's
if
Jerry
he's in
Talbot.
and Talbot, so yeah, it should be a very exciting game. The Senators, they're 6-0 in their last six Friday night games, but the Penguins are 53-26 in their last 79 games against the team that has a losing record. But the more important stat that I found was that the Senators are 4-22 in the last 26 meetings in Pittsburgh. So the home ice advantage is going to mean a lot here. So I'm going to take the Penguins to win this one by a score of 4-3.
Pittsburgh 4-3, Mr. Natap. I follow the gold. I follow the man,
Four to
and I go
three.
4-3. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I listen. You just said some stat like that. I have to go with you.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive one if you think about
Unfortunately, Double J did not listen to you. He go with Ottawa, Mr. Natap.
it.
And our friend Bill is knocked the door. Bill, welcome back in the house. And then Corey Hill said the Ottawa Senator for the score of 5-3 tonight for Corey Hill.
Okay, Bill. Well, of course, Corey. Of course, he would.
Corey loved the Senator, Mr. Senator.
I know, I know. I like him too, but I usually try to avoid Pittsburgh, but I think this one, that Ottawa's 4-22 in the last 26 meetings in Pittsburgh. It's hard to ignore that.
You're absolutely right about this. And then, Vancouver owes the Colorado Avalanche. And
Oh, what a mess! What a mess in Vancouver. You know what? I think this whole situation with Bruce Boudreau was handled very poorly, if you ask me. If you're going to get rid of him, get rid of him. If you're going to keep him to the end of the year, then give him the assurance that he's there. But this yanking back and forth, I think it's symptomatic of what's going on in Vancouver. So their problems go further than, what holes does the team have. It's more about the organizational structure. I don't think that they have an overall game plan of where they want to go and how they want to rebuild or at least retool here. But when you look at this team on paper, coach, they should be a lot better than what they're showing right now. On paper, they can match up with Seattle. They can match up with LA. They have the personnel that can do that, and yet it's on the ice. It's not translating. So something is awry here. In this game, I'll jump to my prediction right away. I'm going to take Colorado to win by a score of 5-2. I just feel that Colorado lately has sort of found their groove. They've been playing some very good hockey, even though they still do have a couple of key injuries. Makar is, I think, a game time decision as well today, and he's missed 2 games already. When I look at these two teams, I think that the Avalanche are flat out a better team on both sides of the ice. Offensively, they generate more scoring chances. They rank higher than Vancouver in expected goals since the beginning of the year. And when you look at the actual goals, the Avalanche, they actually rank 7th in goals per game in the same time frame, which includes 17 goals scored on their current 3-game win streak that they're on. So I like a lot of these things. Vancouver's having a tough time keeping the puck out of their own net, and they can't just rely on their offense to bail them out all the time. So again, I'm going to go with Colorado in this game by a score of 5-2.
Awesome. I will follow you, Mr. Top, 5-2.
Okay.
And we have Mr. Stu. Back in the house, Mr. Top. It's funny
Stu.
because I do my prediction, Mr. Top, before you. And 95% I go with my prediction. And then you change sometimes. So like yesterday, you changed my St. Louis Blues against Nashville. But I never know.
That's the only one you remember.
I never know your score. So we have the same score tonight, by the way. So yeah.
Well.
It is what it is. But Ellen said, hey, coach, it's about Chekai with all the positive talk around the league. Do you think Chekai would be a trade target or would consider if they offer good to pass out?
Well, go ahead, coach. What do you think?
It's easy. Caulfield, Suzuki, Cooley, and Chekai are 4 players with possibility could be Doc, or the player will never go to be traded or consider to be traded for the Montreal Canadiens.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
That's the only player I think they're not going to be traded.
Once you find a gem, you don't get rid of it.
Yeah. It's a unique special player. I invite everybody. On my video yesterday, I put the 45 seconds of the interview of the Jekai or a report about Jekai by Sportnet, about 15 minutes. And I took 45 seconds of this interview. And looked like a YouTube channel let me do it. So I did it, and I put this there. And the mom very expressive about the fact, like she said at the end of the interview, said anything is possible. And he proved it, like only him can do it. So a lot of great story like him. It's fun to see that. Yeah, player go with perseverance and whatever. Yeah, 17 years old. Remember, guys, he never be drafted in the NHL.
I know.
Nobody drafted him. He was play junior B, and then the Rangers, Kingston Rangers get him. Kitchener Rangers get him. And then after that, they go from there to go NHL, and nobody get him. And then he picked the Montreal Canadiens. So this was the last good things about Marc Bergevin he gave to the Montreal Canadiens for the fans to get Jacky, signed Jacky for 3 years ELC. Very nice to get that one over there. And I want to finish with Bruce Boudreau. I think it's time now for Boudreau to the saga, whatever you want it to be over, because now you, as the human being, with very emotional Bruce Boudreau yesterday or today at the press conference, and then you don't want to see anybody suffer. I know Bruce a little bit, and then I would not say like no one deserved what he's going on in Vancouver. But
No,
it's sad for him, but it's better to go there right now and to stop the blood or the bleed about
the
that
bleeding.
situation.
Yeah. Cut the cord right now if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Don't prolong this.
Yeah, appreciate comment was Ireland on the first line.
I thought he was okay. I thought I like his size. I think he skates very well. He's got a good set of hands. I think he complements both Suzuki and Caulfield.
Yeah, they modify him. They remove him at some points on the game yesterday.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
He missed one step to be the player we want in NHL. That's what I'm a little bit my concern about him. He showed some flash, but me, like it would be good for him to get 20 games and let him play 15 minutes per game, 14 minutes, and then to learn about what he can deliver for the Montreal Canadiens at long term. Because he has quick release, he has good hands, and learning like everybody else. They could be a good winger for Montreal at long term if he used properly and he grow properly his progression in NHL. About this one over there. Jeff Petrie is back in the lineup tonight, Mr. ENORTAP, after missing about 6 weeks. Jeff Petrie is at the PPG Paint Arena tonight against the Ottawa Senators. So that's conclude, Mr. ENORTAP. Not only the show tonight, but that concludes the week of the warm-up show, Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock p.m. We'll be back Monday night, Mr. ENORTAP, with nobody in the jail.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a good weekend. Some of them is a dead boss, like Jose. And for other people in the chat, we wish you an amazing, great weekend. But before we leave, we want to invite everybody. Don't forget to click on the likes. If you don't mind, that'd be great. And then, of course, subscribe to our Canadian show and watch our shows like Sunday morning at 11 o'clock p.m. a.m. With Marco Larabie. We have the app branch at Your Sunday Rendezvous. And, of course, the app Daily News every day, Monday to Friday at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. And that's what we got to for you, Mr. ENORTAP. It was an amazing, great week for
Sounds
you
fantastic.
to be the GOAT at the warm-up show. And we wish you an amazing, great weekend. Before we leave, Mr. ENORTAP, we have Ryan Sexton step up. What is Carlson and up? What is the best fit to get the trade? Carlson mentioned he wants to go where the team can win and in a playoff to become the Stanley Cup. The problem with that, Ryan, is the contract of the Carlson. And not many people can afford $6 million. I know it's $11 million, but he had to keep 50% for the San Jose Sharks. So it's not a great destination, a bit like Timo Meier. Really interesting what happening about this.
The money and the term. The money and the term.
Yeah, exactly. Who make it? Who does not? The playoff, Mr. ENORTAP, the Flame, the Blues, the Avalanche, the Predator. Who make it and who does not?
Playoff spot. Well, the Blues, I don't think will. The Predators won't make it, and who does it? The Avs will. I don't.
Yeah,
think
absolutely right about this.
Flames,
I think right now it's going to be Calgary be out.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Oh, by the way, this is a great point here. I need to take a note about this one over there. Without injury, you can up. What do you think you can call one of them? So you have a rules in the NHL, Mr. ENORTAP. I would make my app daily news, but you can call up players, right? You can have an emergency player called twice in the American Hockey League. And the third time, if it's the case, you can jump in or the player have a contract he can play junior. So if they are signing an entry-level contract, and they can play a maximum of 5 games, Mr. Natap. So can we see Beck? Can we see Joshua Roy or any other players? So I just want to mention that information from Hélène, and not many people knows the rules about this, so I just want to share it with you about that. That's what we try to do. It's informative, and the people know more about the rules, Mr. Natap. And we are like the people like Hélène and many more, and that make the channel better because they have their ask the right question. And to have a co-host like Mr. Natap, this is unbelievable. Great to having you, Mr. Natap. Without you, it would be amazing. And what cannot finishing that show, Mr. Natap? Do you know how?
By showing people's greatness.
Absolutely right about this, but we are talking about greatness. We have the greatness, the WWE back in the house. Willie Snyder, Mr. Natap, come back at the house. Yeah, he carried on his bell sometime around the hip, sometime over his shoulder. Depends how you feel about that. But he's one of the only one that have a big bear about that one over there. They call the Big Bear the Big Bear from Denver, Mr. Natap. Really interesting. He started his career on the AWC, and then he go up the ladder, and now he's on the WWE. Possibly be the WrestleMania, but only the 264 one can happening. But still hanging there, Mr. Natap. So that's the most important thing.
I think he's still doing his research though about which restaurant he prefers.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you want to add, Mr. Natap, before we go?
I just want to wish everyone a great weekend, and we'll enjoy the games this weekend, and we'll see you all on Monday.
Yeah, he cannot say more about what you just said. We wish you an amazing, great night, everybody. Of course, Mr. Natap, to you. Until the next time, be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the first half of what?
Year 2023.
He said it again. Have a great night, Mr. Natap.
Good night, everyone.